All right, so let's look at complex numbers and what are they in imaginary numbers. Complex numbers, the set of all numbers in the form a plus bi with real numbers a and b and I being the imaginary unit is called the set of complex numbers. The real number a is called the real number part, and the real number b is called the imaginary part of the complex number. A plus bi if b does not equal to 0. Then the complex number is called an imaginary number. So I'm going to give you some examples of what they're talking about in this particular definition. An imaginary number in the form bi is called a pure imaginary number. So in intermediate, you talked about the different types of number systems, and we talked about imaginary units. But a complex number is where you have a real number part, let's say that is 7, and then you have an imaginary part, let's say minus 3i. Okay? 7 being the real number part, just repeating this part again. The negative 3i being the imaginary part. If we took away the real number part, okay, then we have something such as 10i. This is what we would call a pure imaginary number. Now, what I want you to know in this section, there are two rules that I want you to know in this section. Because we talked about, why in intermediate algebra, we talked about why we have to use imaginary numbers. And with college algebra, this is just going to be some review. But the two rules I want you to know is that whenever we take the square root of a negative number, let's say the square root of -1 is going to be I. So I'm going to say rule 1. I want you to know that. Rule 2, that anytime we multiply two imaginary units, that is going to equal to -1. So two rules that I want you to know that we're going to be using in this section here.